Sutra 133, Translation 1. Inner peace is achieved and maintained by cultivating friendliness towards those who are happy, compassion for those who suffer, goodwill towards the virtuous, and indifference towards the non-virtuous. Translation 2. Through cultivation of loving kindness, compassion, gratitude, and balance, one becomes serene and benevolent. Translation 3. The consciousness becomes peaceful and benevolent when one develops kindness towards the happy, compassion for the unhappy, delight towards the righteousness, and indifference towards the wicked. So now, this is definitely one of my favorite sutras. Friendliness towards those who are happy. I guess the opposite of that would be jealousy towards those who are happy, which some people have that problem. That was never a problem of mine. I always looked up to people who are happy and attain things. I always looked up to them as role models. The second one, compassion for those who suffer, that was never an issue for me either. I guess the other thing would be coldness towards those who suffer, or lack of compassion, or cruelty towards those who suffer. So compassion helps to combat that. The next one, goodwill towards the virtuous, that's pretty self-explanatory. Again, jealousy or hatred, those would be the other things that you would not want to develop. Then indifference towards the non-virtuous. Now this one here was difficult for me, and it still is. I still struggle with this one because it's very easy for me to get angry at the non-virtuous, and anger or righteous anger towards evil is not necessarily a sin. And also too much compassion for the non-virtuous, to where I'm so compassionate to these people and they just take me for granted, and Jesus talks about don't drop pearls on swine because they'll trample you. And you see they did this in Christ, and this has happened to me over and over in my life, where I'm just trying to help everybody out and they tear me to shreds. So the indifference towards the non-virtuous does work out there, but it does say in the Tao Te Ching, which look for my upcoming copy of the Tao Te Ching, it does say to be compassionate even towards the wicked. So there's some debate and there's some different results here, and I think here is where your intuition really has to come into play. To where, okay, this person here, even though they're wicked or they're non-virtuous, if I try to help them, they might have a good response to it. But this person, if I try to help them, my intuition tells me that they're gonna walk all over me and they're gonna take me for granted. They're not ready to hear what I'm gonna say. So when is the time to keep your mouth shut, and when is the time to speak? That becomes a real problem, and that's one of the good things about speaking to a camera, is that you can speak to the camera and it's recorded. So you're not putting yourself out there, because a lot of time a debate turns into a heated argument real quick. And I've done it with compassion too. But it was taught to me by one of my teachers that as a teacher you're supposed to be long-sighted and have thick skin, tough skin, and be willing to endure pain and suffering. That's a good quality for a teacher. Now, the second one, the reason why I put this as the second translation here, because the second one's non-denominational. Let me read the second one to you again. Through cultivation of loving kindness, compassion, gratitude, and balance, one becomes serene and benevolent. So when you look at the translations of the Yoga Sutras and you look at the Buddhist teachings, the Sanskrit traditions or the Pali traditions, two things happened here. Number one, I'm pretty sure that Siddhartha had access to Sankhya philosophy when he was taught. Whether Siddhartha was taught the actual Yoga Sutras or not remains somewhat of a mystery, because you're not there unless you access the Akashic records. But when Siddhartha gives the Four Noble Truths, when Siddhartha turned the wheel of the Dhamma, the Four Noble Truths are a summary of the Yoga Sutras. But it's for certain that when they translated the Yoga Sutras and finited the text, that they did borrow the teachings from the Buddhists, because the Buddhist texts were better written. So you have both ways. Either way, the Yoga Sutras and the Buddhist texts are in complete unison with each other. And if you study the Yoga Sutras, you are studying a a Buddhist text as far as I'm concerned. I hope this helps, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Click here for the next video, and God bless you.